What happens the moment they lose access to your time? Not when you announce it, not when you explain yourself, but when you quietly stop showing up the way you used to, when your attention is no longer on standby, when your energy is no longer available on demand. That moment changes everything. Because time is the one currency that never lies. You can fake words, you can fake promises, but time exposes truth. And when someone no longer has access to yours, they are forced to confront what they took for granted. Most people don't respect you because of what you say. They respect you because of what you protect. And nothing reveals self-worth faster than how you guard your time. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Your time is not infinite. Every moment you give away carelessly teaches others how to treat you. When you were always available, always explaining, always accommodating, you unknowingly trained people to believe your presence was guaranteed. But the second you pulled back, the second you chose yourself, the dynamic shifted. Silence replaced noise. Distance replaced dependency. And suddenly they felt it. Confusion, discomfort, a sense of loss. Not because they suddenly realized your value, but because they lost access to something they assumed would always be there. This is not about ego. This is not about punishment. This is about power. Quiet power, controlled power. The kind of power that doesn't chase validation or beg for understanding. Stoicism teaches emotional mastery, not emotional suppression. It teaches you to respond instead of react, to move with intention instead of impulse. And when you master your time, you master your life. In this video, you're going to learn why stepping back speaks louder than confrontation, why protecting your schedule reshapes how people see you, and how reclaiming your time restores your confidence, self-respect, and emotional control. No arguments, no long explanations, just disciplined action. Because once you decide that your time is sacred, the world adjusts. And those who truly belong will respect the boundary. The rest will reveal themselves without you saying a word. Before we go any further, anchor this truth. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. My time is valuable. I no longer give it away for free. Number 1, take back control by stopping over-availability. The first shift begins the moment you stop being instantly reachable, because constant availability teaches others that your time has no weight, and Stoicism demands the opposite. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." And this applies perfectly here, because when you stop replying immediately, stop rearranging your schedule, stop rushing to prove loyalty, some people will assume you changed, became distant, or grew cold, and you must allow that misunderstanding to exist without correcting it. This is where power is reclaimed. You are not required to answer every call, message, or request the moment it appears. You are not responsible for managing other people's expectations at the cost of your peace. When you pause instead of reacting, you regain command over your nervous system, your focus, and your self-image. Action step 1 is simple and non-negotiable. Create intentional delay. Let messages sit. Let invitations wait. Let urgency dissolve. This is not manipulation. This is discipline. Action step 2 is to fill the reclaimed time with purpose instead of distraction. Train your body, sharpen your mind, build something meaningful, or simply sit in stillness and observe your thoughts without judgment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. And this strength grows every time you choose intention over impulse. Action step 3 is to resist the urge to explain your absence. Explanations weaken boundaries. Silence reinforces them. When others feel the gap created by your absence, they begin to sense your value without you advertising it. This recalibration forces respect, not through demand, but through presence control. Understand this clearly. People don't miss words, they miss access. And once access is limited, perception changes. You are not disappearing, you are repositioning. You are teaching the world how to treat you by how you treat your own time. End this tip by anchoring it into your identity. Number 2, let time reveal intentions without interference. Now you must learn the discipline of stepping back and allowing time to expose truth without your help. This is where most people fail because they interfere, chase clarity, demand answers, or try to force outcomes, and in doing so, they destroy the evidence that time was about to reveal for them. Seneca warned, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." And understand this clearly. Distance is an adversity that exposes character. When you stop initiating, stop reminding, stop checking in, and stop holding things together, reality begins to speak louder than any promise ever could. This is not passive behavior, this is strategic restraint. Your action step here is decisive. Remove yourself from the role of emotional glue. Do not carry conversations, relationships, or dynamics alone. If effort collapses the moment you step back, that collapse is the answer you were avoiding. Another action step is to observe patterns without emotion. Watch who adjusts, who reaches, who disappears, and who only responds when it benefits them. Do not label this as good or bad in the moment. Just collect data. Marcus Aurelius said, "Objective judgment now, at this very moment, and this mindset keeps you from reacting emotionally to what you discover." The next action step is to resist nostalgia. The mind will try to drag you back into old versions of people, old memories, and old hope. Reject that pull. You are not evaluating who they were. You are measuring who they are when access to you is no longer guaranteed. Silence during this phase is essential. Silence keeps the experiment clean. Explanations contaminate results. When people feel your absence, they either rise with respect or reveal indifference, and neither outcome requires your correction. This is how self-worth is rebuilt, not by convincing others, but by trusting what is shown without argument. Emotional control here means refusing to chase closure. Closure comes from acceptance, not confrontation. Confidence grows when you realize you survived the uncertainty and gained clarity without begging for it. By allowing time to do the work, you step into authority over your own perception. You stop romanticizing effort and start respecting consistency. Anchor this lesson now. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I let time reveal truth without interference. Number 3, reclaim your energy by refusing unnecessary access. Now, you must take control of where your energy flows, because attention is power and you have been giving it away without permission. This step demands strength, not softness. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be invincible, make sure that no one can provoke you." And this begins the moment you decide who gets access to your thoughts, reactions, and presence. The action here is clear and non-negotiable. Stop being available by default. Do not respond instantly. Do not explain delays. Do not justify distance. Your time is not public property. When you withdraw easy access, you force others to confront their dependency on you while you reconnect with yourself. This is not punishment. This is protection. Start by setting invisible boundaries. You do not need announcements or warnings. Simply redirect your focus toward growth, health, learning, and purpose. Each moment you resist the urge to check messages, replay conversations, or anticipate reactions, you are training emotional discipline. That discipline becomes confidence. Another action step is to replace reactive habits with intentional rituals. When you feel the pull to engage out of habit, shift your body, change your environment, or occupy your hands. This breaks old patterns and builds new authority over your impulses. Stoicism teaches mastery of the inner world before attempting control of the outer one, and this practice sharpens that mastery daily. Pay attention to how people respond when your energy is no longer instantly available. Some will respect it. Others will resist it. Neither response requires your involvement. Your silence here is not weakness. It is a filter. It removes entitlement from your life. Emotional control deepens when you stop feeding unnecessary drama with attention. Self-worth strengthens when you realize you do not owe constant presence to anyone who has not earned it. Confidence locks in when you feel calm instead of anxious in your own space. This point is about choosing yourself without apology. You're not withdrawing to be noticed. You're withdrawing to be aligned. Let that truth anchor you. Number 4, let time reveal truth without your interference. Now you must step back and allow time to do what words never could. This stage requires patience with backbone. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Never explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you." And this is where that wisdom becomes action. Stop chasing clarity through conversations. Stop correcting false views. Stop proving intentions. When you remove yourself from the need to be understood, reality begins to speak louder than defense ever will. The command here is simple: observe instead of reacting. Let behavior unfold naturally. People expose priorities through consistency, not speeches. Your role is not to manage perceptions, but to witness patterns. This is an active discipline, not passive waiting. Each day you hold your position without interference. Your inner strength expands. Time strips masks, and it does so mercilessly. Those who valued you only when convenient will fade. Those who respected you will adjust. Both outcomes serve you. Actionable control comes from redirecting focus toward long-term vision. Build routines that compound value, not emotional debt. Train your mind to sit with discomfort without reaching for explanation. This is how emotional maturity is forged. Stoicism teaches acceptance of what unfolds beyond control while commanding what lives within. You do not rush outcomes. You do not force recognition. You let distance sharpen perspective. As days pass, confusion dissolves. The noise quiets. Truth surfaces without your voice lifting once. This approach restores authority because it removes desperation. Silence combined with time creates gravity. People feel the shift, even if they cannot name it. Meanwhile, your confidence stabilizes because it no longer depends on validation. You become grounded, deliberate, and unshakable. The discipline here is restraint. Each moment you choose not to interfere, you reclaim composure. Self-worth rises when you stop negotiating your value. Emotional control deepens when you trust process over impulse. This point demands courage because ego wants to speak. Command that urge into stillness. Let outcomes arrive on their own terms. When they do, they will be undeniable. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I trust time to reveal what words never could. Number 5. Reclaim your time as a non-negotiable asset. Now you must understand this clearly and without hesitation. Your time is your life, and anyone who wasted it without respect has already revealed their position. Seneca stated, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And this truth must become your rule. Stop giving minutes to people who showed you through delay, neglect, or excuses that you were optional. This is not bitterness. This is precision. Command your schedule with intent. Every hour you protect strengthens self-respect. When access ends, power returns. You no longer rush replies. You no longer rearrange priorities. You no longer wait. Instead, you invest attention into growth, skill, health, learning, and peace. This shift rewires your identity. People feel it immediately because energy follows boundaries. Actionable discipline starts with removing open-door availability. Decide who earns proximity. Decide who receives effort. Decide who no longer benefits from your presence. This is leadership over your own existence. Emotional control sharpens when you stop reacting to external pulls. Confidence rises when you keep promises to yourself instead of breaking them for others. Stoic practice teaches mastery over desire, and desire includes the urge to be needed. Release that urge. Replace it with direction. Fill your days with purpose-driven action so there is no space for regret. Each time you choose yourself, internal authority grows. Those who once took your time casually will now feel the absence deeply. Not because you announce it, but because consistency has consequences. You are not punishing anyone. You are protecting something sacred. The commanding move here is consistency. Do not explain your unavailability. Do not justify your choices. Let results speak. Your calm focus becomes undeniable evidence of growth. Over time, only aligned people remain. This is how peace is built. This is how power stabilizes. You are no longer reactive. You are intentional. You are no longer accessible to chaos. You are committed to clarity. Guard your hours like currency. Spend them where returns are guaranteed. This is not selfishness. This is survival at a higher level. Step into it without apology. Number 6. Master emotional silence and stop feeding reactions. Now listen carefully and take this as an order to yourself. Stop leaking emotion to people who already proved they mishandled it. Emotional silence is not weakness. It is strategic strength. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid," meaning you do not owe reactions, explanations, or visible feelings to anyone. When they lost access to your time, they also lost access to your emotional output. That is the line you draw now. No venting, no subtle messages, no indirect signals, no performative distance. You move in quiet control. This is how inner dominance is built. Actionable discipline begins with awareness. The moment you feel the urge to react, pause, breathe, redirect attention to something that strengthens you physically, mentally, or financially. Each time you choose restraint, emotional authority grows. People who relied on provoking you lose influence instantly. Silence starves manipulation. Calm disarms pressure. Detachment confuses those who expected chaos. Stoic wisdom reminds us that other people's behavior is outside our command, but our responses remain fully ours. Take ownership of that power. Emotional control sharpens confidence because you stop outsourcing peace. You no longer seek validation through expression. You become grounded, steady, and unreadable. This does not mean suppressing feelings. It means processing them privately and releasing them productively. Journal, train, build, study. Let emotions fuel improvement rather than conflict. Over time, your presence shifts. You speak less, but carry more weight. When you do respond, it is deliberate and brief. That contrast commands respect. Those who once thrived on your emotional availability will feel the void sharply. Again, you say nothing. You let silence do the work. This approach rebuilds self-worth because it proves to yourself that you are in charge. You are no longer pulled into emotional labor that drains energy. You are no longer reacting from wounds. You are responding from strength. This is how composure becomes habit. This is how authority becomes natural. Stay disciplined, stay quiet, stay focused. Emotional silence is not avoidance, it is mastery. Practice it daily until it becomes your default state. Number 7. Rebuild your identity around purpose, not permission. Pay attention, because this step changes everything. When they lost access to your time, it exposed something deeper. You were never meant to orbit their expectations. Now you must rebuild your identity around purpose, not permission. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not waste the rest of your life worrying about others unless it affects the common good." That is your command. Stop shaping your choices around how others might feel, think, approve, or react. Your life is not a request form. Your existence does not need validation stamps. Action begins with clarity. Define what matters to you without outside noise. Write down goals that scare you because they demand growth. Choose standards that raise your discipline. Structure your days so effort replaces overthinking. When purpose becomes central, distractions fade naturally. People who once consumed your attention become irrelevant without confrontation. This is not cruelty, this is alignment. Stoicism teaches that meaning comes from living in agreement with your nature, not from pleasing the crowd. When you anchor yourself to purpose, confidence stops being an act and becomes a byproduct. You wake up knowing why you move. You go to sleep knowing you honored your direction. That certainty is felt by everyone around you. You no longer chase invitations, replies, or recognition. You build, you progress, you execute. The energy shifts fast. Those who benefited from your availability will feel displaced, but you do not explain. You do not justify. You continue forward. Purpose-driven identity strengthens emotional control because your focus narrows. Less mental clutter, less emotional dependency, more internal order. You begin choosing solitude over chaos, consistency over drama, growth over familiarity. This is how self-worth solidifies, not through affirmations alone, but through repeated action aligned with values. Each day you choose purpose, you reclaim another piece of yourself. Each boundary reinforces authority. Each completed task rewires confidence. You stop asking who values you and start proving your value to yourself. That is the shift. That is the power. Stand firm, stay committed. Let your life speak through results, not explanations. Number 8. Let time confirm your value without a single word. This is the final command, and it demands patience and strength. Once you stop giving access to your time, stop chasing clarity, and stop explaining your moves, you must allow time to do the talking. Seneca warned, "Time discovers truth." Understand this deeply. Silence combined with consistency creates undeniable evidence. You do not rush outcomes. You do not seek closure from people who benefited from your attention. You let absence and progress deliver the message. Action replaces arguments. Growth replaces justification. This stage requires emotional discipline because the urge to check, respond, or prove yourself will surface. Resist it. Each moment you hold your ground strengthens inner authority. Fill your schedule with development, learning, health, structure, and skill. When days are full of intention, there is no room for regret. Time begins to separate who respected you from who merely used access. That separation is not painful anymore. It becomes clarifying. Stoic philosophy teaches that control lies in response, not reaction. You respond to life by building something lasting, not by reacting to disrespect. As weeks pass, your energy stabilizes. Your presence becomes rarer, calmer, and more valuable. Those who once underestimated you start noticing the distance. They feel the gap, but cannot name it. That is the power of quiet evolution. You are no longer available for confusion, emotional games, or delayed respect. You move steadily, without announcement. Time amplifies discipline. Time exposes intention. Time rewards those who stay aligned. Do not interrupt the process by reaching backward. Forward momentum is your proof. Let success answer questions you never respond to. Let peace replace urgency. Let self-trust override doubt. When your life becomes full, explanations become unnecessary. This is not revenge. This is resolution. You finish strong by staying silent and consistent. You let time confirm what words never could. Stand still in your values. Move forward in your mission. Let the results speak. You have done the hard work. You stopped chasing, you stopped explaining, and you let silence do the heavy lifting. Now, it is time to own the power you have reclaimed. Remember, your worth was never determined by their attention, their promises, or their access. It was always within you. Stoic wisdom reminds us, as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let this guide you. Continue to guard your time, protect your energy, and refuse to react to manipulation or fleeting emotions. Build your life with intention. Focus on growth, mastery, health, and meaningful connections. Let results, calm presence, and unwavering boundaries be your language. Your silence has spoken volumes, but now your actions must echo even louder. Keep showing up for yourself, for your purpose, and for your peace. Let go of the need for validation, for explanations, for external proof. Stand tall in your value, and let life reflect it naturally. This is your path to freedom, clarity, and unshakable confidence. If you commit to this discipline, nothing and no one can diminish your power. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I control my time, protect my peace, and honor my value above all else. Keep practicing it daily. Subscribe to this channel to continue strengthening your mindset, reclaiming your power, and mastering the art of living on your terms. Your journey has only just begun. Own it, honor it, and never give your energy to anyone who cannot meet you at your level.